Now, receiving the funds from the Drug-Free Community Support Grant, this kind of tailors our message, if you will. A lot of you may be familiar with the Dublin Teen Institute groups that exist in all 3 of the high schools here in Dublin. Those are prevention programs, and they focus a lot on, they focus a lot on individual prevention strategies. So leadership skill development, personal growth, resiliency skills, creating a support network, okay? And so that is sort of the function that they serve. When we receive these drug-free community dollars, what they said is, we want you to focus on environmental drug prevention. And that's a whole new world and a whole new tactic. And so to kind of understand that, we've broken it down into these 4 key areas. This is really what our group of not only our teams that we have in our Dublin Act Youth Council, but our volunteers, this is where we are, focusing all of our goals in the end. So we're taking a look at community norms. What are our youth and our adults as well seeing in the community? What messages are they receiving? What's acceptable and what's unacceptable in this community? Access and availability. How easy is it to get a hold of alcohol, tobacco, marijuana? Our 3 main substances that we have identified that we are going to sort of target, while it is all-encompassing and has far-reaching arms, all of substance abuse, the 3 main substances we're focusing on are alcohol, underage drinking, marijuana, and prescription drug abuse. And we determined this by taking a look at a survey that's been done since the 80s. It used to be done on a county-wide level by the Safe and Drug-Free Schools Consortium and the Franklin County Ed Council, and it's called the Primary Prevention, Awareness, Attitudes, and Youth Survey. We just call it PAWS. And we conducted that survey for years here in Dublin, and the survey prior to their submission indicated that those were the top 3 substances of abuse by our youth in our community. So prior to receiving those drug-free funds, they also took a look at our local social host law. And Councilmember Rick Gerber and Vice Mayor Amy Saleh were huge champions of working with the coalition and community members and youth to really pull together and sort of enhance the social host law that exists here in Dublin. It was a slight word change that this group worked on, but it was a very big deal, and it helps our local law enforcement provide for greater enforcement. Prior to our change, the wording was that they had to, they were knowingly social hosting, knowingly providing alcohol to underage youth. And that made it very hard to prove. A lot of folks could get away then with saying, I didn't know that they were in the basement doing this, I didn't know what was going on. And so we wanted folks to be more accountable and do some more prevention. And so this group worked to change that word to negligently. And what that said was, did you lock it up? Did you take the proper steps to make sure that everybody that was coming into your home would be safe, whether you were there or not? And so that's just an example of our access and availability strategies. And there are many more, and we'll share some of those highlights in a second. Media messages. What signage are they seeing in the community? What are they hearing in the Dublin news and our publications and on TV? Because they're being inundated with a lot of not so positive messages and a lot of misinformation. So we wanted to make sure that we're also sharing the facts, the data, but making it real to our youth and our parents. And then policy and enforcement. That goes along with the example I used for the social host law and just helping our officers, get in there and make a difference and giving them the tools that they need. You can see our goals.